question that came up because you had mentioned being involved in the creation of the first drug court here in Ashtabula County. And to step back just a little bit, the question was asked of, can you explain the difference between what a drug court is and a regular court from just a conceptual standpoint?
That's a great question. A drug court is what's more commonly, it's known as a specialized docket program. Specialized dockets are designated treatment courts, and in Ohio, the Supreme Court has promulgated rules under the Ohio Supreme Court Rules of Superintendents of how specialized docket programs are to work, and they are to be based upon evidence-based practices. And what makes them unique is that instead of a regular docket system, which is essentially a docket is the cases that are scheduled in front of the court, just this court schedule. A specialized docket, it says we're going to take out special cases. We're going to take out special cases that meet certain criteria because they're unique. Because, for example, in a drug court, these offenders are all committing their crimes because of their dependence on drugs or alcohol. Or in a mental health court, we're going to pick out these cases because these offenders are all committing their crimes because of their mental health issues. There's 190 specialized docket courts in Ohio. They're not all drug courts and they're not all mental health courts. There's a prostitution court in Franklin County where they've taken all the prostitution cases and said, we're going to take these out and address the needs that are causing these women to continue in this behavior so we can get them out of the cycle. There are OVI courts for multiple OVI offenders. There are sex offender courts. There are child support courts. There are treatment-based courts where we're going to help these individuals tackle the barriers that are causing them to keep reoffending so we can get them out of the system. So and uniquely, it's what's known as a non-adversarial approach because all court cases are adversarial. It's State of Ohio versus John Doe, or it's Jane Smith versus John Doe. They're all adversarial by nature, but a specialized docket court, everybody comes together at the same table to design a program that's going to get those offenders out of the system.
Why is it that those courts are limited to drug courts? Why not other types of crimes that are being committed?
A judge in a court could design a specialized docket program, however would best service the community. They do not have to be drug courts or mental health courts. If there's another specific area that was a strong desire of a necessity, like a veterans court, if there was a strong, I'll give you a good example. In Canton, there is a veterans speeding court because they realized that through their court system they were having veterans return home from war and they were a problem with erratic driving. I mean, after all, in war, you don't drive a straight line at 70 miles an hour. So they were having problems with these veterans driving this behavior, so it helped to help them and not cause a public safety risk and to keep them with valid driver's license. They formed a veterans speeding court, traffic court. Under the Supreme Court rules, before any judge sets up a specialized docket program, he or she is required to have an advisory committee. An advisory committee made up of community stakeholders to help the judge form the court so it best serves the needs of the community. I will tell you that based upon practicing as the head of the public defender's office in this county for the last 17 years, the drug court is by far what is needed in that municipal court. When offenders first start committing their behavior because of drug use, that's the court that they first start coming into because they're stealing from mom and dad. They're shoplifting at Walmart. And that's the court we can first get to them and provide them the intervention that's necessary in getting them out.